So this time around, I'm going to be reading you guys another script that I wrote for myself. The script is a little bit different. Some of the other scripts I write, usually when I'm scripting, I will write out in the future what I already know has happened. And this is a way, I feel like an active way of like manifesting stuff into existence. Like I manifested our $250,000 month. I manifested certain relationships. I've manifested certain career moves by speaking about what I want to happen versus like what's currently happening. So sometimes I will script, but today I did an observation. Sometimes I'll do these like observations or trends that I'm noticing in my life at the moment. And these are some observations that I have. This one's actually really, really, really intimate and personal to my life. It's about my previous engagement that I ended we're in 2026. So I ended it officially, I think in February 2025. No, 2024. It's been like a really long time now. Yeah, so 2024, I believe. And there's like some recent patterns in my life right now that have been coming up that I feel like are allowing me to reflect back on that. And so I wrote a little observation that I have and a little letter to myself about that period of time. So I'm going to share it with you in the hopes that this helps you understand more about my mindset, the way I view the world, and just sharing some insights on Low, because apparently you guys like some of that. So I'm going to read this, and yeah, I hope it helps you see some stuff for yourself clearer. All right, so I wrote observations, July 14th, 2026, Canggu, because that's where I am. Bali, for those of you guys who are like, what? I'm in Canggu, Bali. Okay, so in my observations, this is what I wrote. It has been so eye-opening, like a slap in the face. Man, I'm so grateful for this perspective. I feel like this is where another time in my life I would probably be really struggling, but I'm actually incredibly grounded. I alluded to this before. When I say before, I'm talking about something else I wrote earlier. But I don't think I ever gave myself the chance to grieve Max, who is my ex-fiance. He's great. He's a great person. But to grieve that and to feel and experience that. As I do, I just moved. Literally so quickly at that. Just like I knew how to. That's how I was born to move, is just to do stuff and to solve problems. But here is a beautiful opportunity to sit in that. So, to Low, and I literally wrote like, to Low, as like a little note. It was never your responsibility to hold on to his stuff. You could be there to support him, but he had to do the heavy lifting. You held that. You held him for a long time, too long. You blamed yourself. Let me make sure this mic is working. Okay, good. You blamed yourself too much, trying to be better, but, trying and just working hard to be better, but that was never the assignment. You know that role very well. It was never the thing in question. Your ability to show up, to care for others is never in question. That's your thing. And you hold a lot well. It was learning how to support him without abandoning yourself. That was the biggest thing. You did that for too long. You started to lose small pieces of yourself along the way. Slowly but surely, you lost yourself altogether. More specifically, in his stuff. Where his problems, his trauma became yours. Like a cloak you threw over your shoulders as a way to save him, to bear and carry that burden. It was never yours to wear. He made you feel like it was, and it wasn't. He made you feel like it was you, but it wasn't. It was never you. Not the first time, not the second time, and most certainly not the third time. He wasn't ready to face the music. That was the reality. And somehow you became the target, the emotional punching bag, the reason why it wasn't working. No, it didn't work because he didn't work. He wasn't ready to see himself, and that's okay. Everyone's process is their own. But the bravest thing was also the hardest thing. Choosing to take the cloak off for good. To choose you for both of you. Because not everyone can make the hard choices, but you can. And you did. And now you can see things clearer. And what an amazing sign that I've been given lately to address this specific topic. If there is a lesson for me right now, it's not to force to maintain anything other than myself. It's to maintain my groundedness and to let life show me what it will. Everything, and I mean everything, happens for a reason. The lesson will continue presenting itself until it is learned. And sometimes just a little gentle reminder is needed to create awareness where we get lost in worldly things as humans do. And I'm sharing this because I've been given a really great opportunity recently to see this and to go back and reflect on that relationship and to actually experience it and feel it. I feel like a lot of us, especially women, we just put our heads down, we solve problems when shit gets crazy, and then we just figure it out. But a lot of times we kind of dissociate from our feelings, or we can't feel our feelings because we're solving the problem first. And so I do think it's important to not like sit on stuff for the rest of your life or make it your whole narrative or your story. But I do think it's important to be back in your body, especially when like stress or chaos is happening. We are so easily able to think things through, find the solution, figure out the next thing, like get on the move, right? But it takes our body time to catch up. It takes our body time to feel the thing. It takes our body time to digest the trauma or the experience itself. And I think there's this book I started reading. It's called The Body Keeps Score. But the body is something that your mind is so smart. The human mind is so smart where we can cope and we can navigate and figure things out. Like that is Darwinism to the fullest. It's like survival of the fittest. And we do what we have to figure shit out. But the body does keep score. And if you don't address that, it lives in your body. Like physically in your joints and your muscles. If you're always walking around and your shoulders are up to your fucking ears, it's like you're constantly in fight or flight or in survival mode. It's like learning how to drop those shoulders and being able to release some of those things from your body. So I had been working on that and addressing it through the past year and a half, or however long it's been now, 2 years, since ending my engagement. But there's, life has a funny way of just showing you where there's still some work that needs to be done. And I think life also has a funny way of giving you an opportunity to face the music. And it's not that I was ignoring those feelings. I was just moving, and I'm a hyper independent woman. I do the shit that I be doing. And so I'm just super locked in and focused on that. But God, the universe, whatever you believe in, presented the opportunity for me to be let's go revisit this. Let's take the accountability that you put on yourself, the blame you put on yourself. I had to be so masculine in that time. I had to move. I had to figure shit out. I had to move literally physically move across the country, pack up my own shit, figure out the next move, figure out what I was going to do after that. I had to make all those decisions for us because he was not capable of doing it. And so in that time, it's I'm doing, going. But, it's great to be in this moment right now and to find the emotions and the feelings that were attached to that experience and be able to move through them, digest them, process them truly, see them for what they were, and then to give myself some of that love back. I feel like you get really hard on yourself in those moments. You want to blame yourself. You want to figure out what am I doing wrong? How can I make this better? How can I fix this? Especially with my personality, that's always my go-to. But I think I had to learn that, and I have been learning right now, I can support people, but I don't have to abandon myself. And a lot of times I feel like we abandon ourselves. We overgive, we overcompensate, we try so much to fit the pieces of the puzzle that someone needs for you to be. And sometimes that's not what it is. It's not forcing that. So it's how do I support people but also not abandon myself? And that's that idea of centering, grounding, letting people experience their own experiences, but you also continuing to validate and create your own. And that's the practice of also stoicism as well that I've talked a bit about as well. So that is what I wrote today in my little scripting journal. It wasn't so much a script as it was I guess, a forgiveness letter to myself, or just a recognition letter to myself. I guess it ain't that deep. Like, I forgive you. Like, forgive you for what, bitch? Like, you didn't do anything. Okay. But like a recognition point, like, I see you. You are so seen in this moment. These are things that you can like revalidate for yourself. I think a lot of times we invalidate our own feelings as a way to support other people, but here are ways that I want to validate what I had gone through and my experience and kind of coming out of it. So again, curious to see if you guys like these sort of videos. If you do, like and comment, give me a comment back to give me some feedback. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And yeah, I don't know how I'm going to end these videos just yet, like a little sign off, but yeah, thanks for sitting on, this is the down low. This is the lowdown. This is a download, like down low, but like download that maybe we needed to receive and hear today. So I don't know. You guys help me with like a tagline, but hope this was helpful. And yeah, looking forward to your feedback.